There's no doubt he's a minor villain. It's not rare for him to grab a little for himself on the side, and he does threaten those in the same business. He's untied City 23 logistics businessmen through dishonorable methods. However, methods aren't the problem. What's important is his strong arm brought the businessmen together. If we lose that strong arm, those businessmen will break to pieces. If the strong arm disappears, the reaction will probably be big. I can't deny that. When businessmen work at larger and larger scales, the quantity of goods they get to deal in goes up. That's a lesson I learned well when Rose announced she'd be using weak Japanese businessmen to purchase supplies for that dance party. There's no doubt he's not a man worthy of respect. However, for that reason, he was under our control, and he managed to bring merchants together in record time. Simply put, if we lose him, it'll put Japanese businessmen at a severe financial disadvantage in their business dealings. And of course, that'll eventually have to affect our lifestyles of all of our countrymen. If Primavera wants to claim that its primary goal is protection of its countrymen's lifestyles, then we shouldn't dispose of him. So you think we should let the traitor go with a fair acquittal, full acquittal? That's not gonna happen. We won't kill him, but we'll make sure he pays a heavy penalty, right? Please leave that to me. I'll make it very clear to him that this will never happen again. Like, he got off scot-free once, there's no way he gets off twice. No matter how important he is, you can't let someone just walk on you. And of course, I'll use methods that even an extremely forgettable man will always remember. Jane spoke of a man's life as though it was a coin, placed on a roulette table. Of course, his eyes were cold enough to freeze you solid, and there could be no doubt that he was a resident of the criminal underworld. Very well, however, we are speaking only of the time until you find a replacement. Of course, that happens. I plan to hold a quiet retirement ceremony for him. Oh, scary. That's what you get for being a traitor. You know, that won't come cheap. Still, there's no way the guy didn't know about this. He knew full well how terrifying the underworld is, and he still couldn't bring himself to refuse the GDS deal. In my mind, that's the real problem. As a result of their questioning, they discovered that the GDS had approached the president in this incident of embezzlement. Of course, if he had refused, he might have had the GDS on his tail. However, Primavera was supposed to be there to provide backing in such a situation. He put us and the GDS on a scale and decided it was more profitable to betray Primavera than to anger the GDS. In other words, by his measure, confidence in us is less important than GDS threats. It's a problem if people think we can't be relied upon. Mafia had power because people think they have enough force to be feared. Exactly. They get more power, the more you have trust and fear in them. However, if there wasn't enough of a reason to fear them, not only would they lose respect, but no one would keep their promises with them. They'd lose power. You hear a lot of terrifying things about the GDS. They're the cause of countless bloody incidents during the fight to dominate C-22. And those have even happened in C-23's Chinatown. I imagine many people have heard of the horror of the GDS. So if we turn it around, and the next question is, what about us? That moment, we've rejected the tyrant Caleb and raised our flag as a philanthropic group dedicated to their countrymen. Mafia of justice, if you will. All of our crews understand Madison Rose's ideal and try to avoid dirty tricks and would sully her name. I see. So just as in money laundering, you're done for once they start taking you lightly. Ever since that legendary night, the city has been peaceful. We're the Momataris of justice, who vanquished the demon Caleb. When you walk through the city, the people praise the madam, treating us like saviors who freed the city from Caleb's tyranny. But now you've even got brats in parks swinging around toy pistols saying they want to join Primavera. So while they do respect us, they aren't in awe of us. Once they start taking you lightly, you're done for. This case proves that Primavera is merely respected, but not thought of as being reliable. For a while, the three fell silent. They had believed themselves to be throwing their lives into a just battle for Madame Rose's ideals. However, in the process, they lost a certain sort of power needed to protect the city folk. We need the show of force. We need to take someone out, someone big, like a GDS member, and just show how, kind of ruffle some feathers, peacock a little bit. There's no problem with having Madame Rose as a symbolic saint. But on the other hand, those of us who rather gather around her have to be brutal champions of weaponry, huh? In the same way that the legendary knight united the underworld of City 23. Perhaps we need a new legendary knight to win the acknowledgement of the people. Primavera was thought of as a charitable organization. Because of that, when the GDS showed up with the power of violence, Primavera was entrusted as a force that could respond to their advance. So the president, in this case, had quickly folded the GDS. Primavera still hadn't earned the city folks' confidence as the conquerors of the underworld. To gain that, they would have to display the power of Primavera's violence to the city folk. In other words, it meant a feud. They need a symbol of fear, to let people know that terrible things awaited for those who went against Primavera. We fucking kill some fucking GDS members. I'm telling you, that's what we do. We show that GDS is weak by us killing them. That's our retaliation for finding this plot of embezzlement. We kill some of their fucking people and say, you do this again, it's war. You posture really large. Everyone else will be like, ah, shit, they're ready to go. Fuck it. Of course, committing acts of violence against the city folk was out of the question. Rose wouldn't allow it. That wouldn't get our point across. We have to take out people that aren't in our city. In that case, their only possible target was the GDS. Fuck yes, that's what I'm talking about. Since the GDS had taken a shot at Primavera's turf twice now, they would have to settle this matter with bullets. They've stepped on us twice. We get to step on them a little bit. So, repeated legendary night. This is the second time after the backdoor employment agency. It seems we may have no choice except to lay down some powerful cards against the GDS. We can talk about doing all the kinds of terrible stuff. The problem is whether we convince Rose or not. I imagine Rose will understand. After all, she was able to take up a gun to defeat Caleb. So prepare for war, huh? Begin it. Chinatown should recognize our intent before long. That alone should prove to be a card we can use against them. Understood. I'll order the bosses to start preparing. Be very sure that everyone knows the difference between preparing and war. Of course. I'll make sure they're on their guards. Gotta show them that this ain't no charity we're running here. We protect our countrymen from our position in the underworld. From the moment we made that decision, we could not have avoided this path. It'll probably take some time to convince Rose, but I'm positive she will understand eventually. We fucking go. I'm down for this. We can't let GDS keep walking over us. We're not a fucking rug. We're not a welcome mat. We're a force. In Chinatown, in the middle of the night, there was a line of trucks. A massive number of wooden boxes was being lowered from several trucks. They had formed a pile in the storehouse. Actually, that is what we should do. We should steal our shit back and kill a bunch of their people. These boxes were different from the ones used to transport the soy sauce that Rose had purchased from the Satomi Alliance. As the crowd of workers moved back and forth, Wang laughed in front of the pile, which now resembled a massive wall or a tsunami. Now this is the best part. Truly like the night before a big Kyushu landing raid. You talking about the wild beast strategy? Japan should be grateful for the disaster. Without that, at least Kyushu and everything south of it would be Chinese territory by now. Wang looked at the pile of boxes as though it was a pile of weapons and gunpowder. It was a valid metaphor. After all, those boxes were certainly filled with shells that would be fired during the coming war with Primavera. Honored brother, preparations are proceeding according to your orders. Hey there, little May. Very good, very good. As you can see, we're at the best part. This is what it means to attack. Still, I'm surprised you managed to scrounge up this much. I can gather as much as I want, and make as much as I want. Isn't that the greatest weapon we Chinese have? So, this is the way of war in the new era. By the way, honored brother, I hear that logistics businessman was captured by Primavera. That was faster than expected, huh? And I'd promised to introduce him to a place with some lovely girls. Primavera has better, bitch. So, is he floating? I doubt he'd sink. They need to make an example. The Primavera I know wouldn't kill him. But they might give him a good scolding. Ha ha! Oh, look what I've done. I'll have to show him a good time one of these days to make up for it. However, will this plan of yours really go well? Hey, what's wrong, little Mai? Are you really so uneasy about my plan? No, that wasn't my meaning. For a thick-headed, violent person like myself, your wise new world warfare seems to be hard to grasp. Oh, it's rare for you to say something like that. And I thought someone as wise as you would be just the person to understand my plan. I feel my knowledge is still no match for yours, honored brother. Li bowed deeply when he said this, but his gaze was sharp and challenging. It was as though he was saying he'd wait and see just how well this plan of Wang's turned out. Wang noticed this second meaning. Before Wang had been given the post, Li had served the role of guarding the south gate with splendid plotting despite his young age. Wang didn't think of him as sort of man to wag his tail for someone just because they had experience. Well, just watch. I'm sure you'll be surprised. It will be a pleasure to see your talents at work. Since he was bowing his head, Li's eyes couldn't possibly be looking at Wang. However, both were exchanging a challenging gaze without looking at each other. Wang walked away with his subordinates following. After waiting for their backs to disappear from sight, Li slowly raised his head. If one thing is certain, it's that someone will be surprised, honored brother. Let's just hope that Primavera is the one. Damn that Wang Yonghong, taking control and leaving you out of it, boss. It's obvious he'll take full credit of it if it works well against Primavera, but he'll put all the blame on you if it fails. Let's wait to see if his plan goes well, that part included. Vroom vroom. If the plan Wang laid out goes smoothly, it's possible your life will be in danger eventually. True, he is an assassin sent against me. As you say, if it goes well, my honored brother will get his credit, and City 23's Chinatown will belong to him. And even if he does fail, it will provide an excellent excuse to have me purged. No matter what happens, the Council of Elders will gain control of City 23's Chinatown. Should we leak information to Madame Rose? I think the ideal situation for us would be to state whether Wang neither wins nor loses against Primavera. Li's underlings hesitated, unsure what he was laughing at. After laughing for a while, Li spoke, still gazing out the car window. All of you, and Wang too, you understand nothing about Primavera. No. About Madame Rose. Even if we don't stick our necks in, it won't go as my honored brother expects. If you say so, boss. If Li, their boss, was purged, they would be put in a much worse situation. Oh yeah, they'd have no fucking room to negotiate with anyone. They'd probably be absorbed by an organization outside the GDS with their career wiped to a blank slate and the treatment they received plummeting as a result. Their fates were tied to Li. They couldn't hide their unease at having Wayne take control, but they were forced to believe in the unwavering confidence of their boss. Come to think of it, how is Hotarubi doing? Today was the day she visited her dad. She didn't come last month, but she came this month. Xiaolong was sitting next to Li. This whole time she had been sitting backwards, looking for out for suspicious cars that might be following them. No one had ordered her to do that. As a girl who had survived in the alley, she was more cautious than a stray cat. Ever since she started thinking of Li as a father and a brother, she'd grown even more cautious, determined that nothing should harm him. Hotarubi, is it? A pitiable girl. How outrageous that the Council of Elders would spend money on such a disreputable product. Xiaolong moved her mouth as though talking quickly, but no sound came out. However, Li could instantly tell what she was saying by the movements of her lips. As a person who could read lips, Li was capable of communicating with Xiaolong more easily than anyone else. That's magnificent work, so it seems she was worth the high price. According to Xiaolong, she had succeeded in achieving repeated success within Primavera, earning the trust of several central figures within it. Damn, feels bad. Can't believe she's gonna betray us, dude. Feels fucked. Regular fucking Judas. She'd even succeed in forming personal relationships with Madame Rose, Richard, and Wayne. With Xiaolong's judgment, she might even be recommended to join Madame Rose's personal guard before too long. By her judgment. Just what the Council of Elders expected from her. Very impressive. Has Hotarubi been given any other missions, besides approaching Primavera's inner circle? For now, no. Continue to observe her for a while. However, if she told her to assassinate Madame Rose, let me know beforehand. Xiaolong wordlessly nodded her head. She felt sorry for her. However, as a person who had lived alone in the alley, she thought Zhao still had it better off to have a living father, even in such sad circumstances. That didn't mean Zell's grief-stricken sobs failed to tear Xiaolong's heart apart, though. Zell had been purchased by the Council of Elders from a different organization. She was a Japanese assassin, fluent in Chinese. Yo, epic! This girl, who possessed both youth and beauty, appeared to be as fragile as her real name, Hotaru, which means firefly, implied. However, rumor told of the mission she had accomplished for countless organizations, and she was somewhat well known in the underworld of Tokyo's Chinatown. Her greatest weapon was the fact that she was Japanese. Though the Chinese and Americans were in control, there was still a considerable number of Japanese people living in Tokyo. American organizations usually don't exist in Chinese-run districts. In nearly all cases, their business rivals were Japanese groups. There had been many cases where these groups gaining too much power to ignore, like Primavera, and becoming a roadblock to Chinese businesses. Hotaru was an exceptionally skilled assassin, capable of blending in with those groups and using both the weapons of women and weapons of death at once. Feels bad. At first, she had been sold to underworld boss as a lovely pet. To them, having a more attractive woman as a mistress was a trophy, a status symbol. Even among that group, she had apparently been traded at a very high price. After all, she would obey anything in exchange for her father's safety. A woman that valuable was just perfect for a gift between bosses. She changed owners at an astounding rate, and she was used as a sign of friendship or a peace offering between underworld bosses. Jesus fucked. However, a certain Chinatown started using her as an assassin. Even the strongest men let their guards down in front of women. They were particularly helpless when in bed. Hotaru looked as though she wouldn't hurt a fly. This girl, who had been traded as the ultimate lady of the evening, had the markings of an ultimate assassin. Damn, right as you think you're about to get some, she fucking puts a bullet in your brain. Feels fucked. She would do anything to ensure her father's safety. This girl, whose body was owned by others by now, didn't even hesitate to dirty her hands with blood. Capped. The safety of her father, her last living relative, was guaranteed, and the two of them were given a meal alone once a month. In exchange for nothing more than that, she became an assassin. When the Council of Elders bought Hotarubi, Lee had been extremely wary. After all, he had suspected that she might be used against his own faction, which supported the GDS's previous leader. Because of that, he had sent Xiaolong to keep an eye on her. Later on, when he learned that she was being used to approach Primavera's inner circle, he'd breathed a temporary sigh of relief. However, that didn't eliminate the possibility that she was a joker in their hand, capable of eliminating Lee's connection with Rose, who was a powerful card in his own hand. Since Zell belonged to the Council of Elders, Wang was probably one of those holding her leash. In the war Wang planned to wage against Primavera, if Rose ever got in the way, there's a high likelihood that Wayne would order her assassination. Interesting. I wonder what ideal move we can construct from this card. I don't want to fight against Zell. I like her. God, fuck. I'm gonna have to kill her? Really? Come on, man. That sucks. Cool rain chilled the city, which had been hot with the soot and smoke from cars and factories. There probably weren't many who'd want to drink and party on a night like this. Even downtown was as quiet as a funeral, and the glowing neon signs seemed lonely as somehow. Yeah, I don't get people who want to be outside in the rain. Weird. Zell had finally returned to the music shop. Then a voice called to her from behind her back. It was Charles. Zell, what are you doing walking around in this rain without an umbrella? Charles? Where you been? Out this late without even leaving a note. We've been all searching for you, worried about you. Yeah, enough of that now for now. let's get inside quickly. Nina, bring her a towel fast. We were so worried about you. Oh, look, you're freezing. Oh, Oliver, Zell's back. Apparently Oliver had also been searching around when Charles yelled out the front door. He came clambering in. Zell, sheesh, you had us worried. We thought something might have happened to you. You don't look right. Did something happen? Sorry for making you worry. My iron dragged on a bit. Sorry. Zell? Oliver and the others continued to stare at Zell with anxious, dubious gazes. After all, she was obviously not telling the truth. Obviously. No amount of rain could hide those cheeks, red and swollen with tears. Mine. Well, I don't know what happened. But, if there's anything we can do to help, feel free to let us know. Okay, thanks. No matter what happens, we'll always stick by your side, Zell. If you're worrying about something, talk to us about it whenever you like. We'll definitely be able to support you. Zell, are we so unreliable? We are the 4 wandering dogs. No matter what happens, we'll never abandon one of our comrades. What happened? Tell us about it. Oliver and the others had realized that Zell was in some sort of tough situation. They wanted to support her from the bottom of their hearts. However, Zell couldn't accept those feelings of theirs. After all, she had come here as an enemy of Primavera. I'm really sorry. Please, everyone. There's really no need for you to worry. I'm really, really glad you all feel that way. Thanks. I'll definitely be back to normal starting tomorrow. So when tomorrow comes, forget the miserable expression I wore tonight. Please? Zell. I'm going to go dry my hair. You all get some sleep. Shake my head. Thanks for staying up so late looking for me. Zell disappeared into the back. The other 3 just stood there looking worried. Wonder, maybe Zell's memory came back. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, quote-unquote memory came back. God, I really like that Zell's, like, actually really complex in the sense that she's working both sides. But at the same time, I really don't want her working both sides because I really liked her. And she's sweet. I don't want to actually, like, have to kill her or some shit. Or her kill someone. And yet she still comes back to us. Because, I mean, Jean takes over. Rose doesn't. So, I mean, it's possible that Zell actually does kill Rose. Which would really, really, really fucking suck. Yeah, even though her memory came back, she still came back to us. Well, comrades, I won't let anything slide if it makes one of my comrades cry. I feel the same, but Zell won't talk to us. Is it because because we weren't reliable enough? Is that why she won't talk to us? I'm sure she thinks that talking about it won't accomplish anything. That girl's been living her life with a heavy burden, hasn't she? You guys know why Zell grows her hair so long. Huh? Guess she's trying to hide that. What do you mean that? Earlier, when Zell was being measured at the clothes shop, I saw it. Zell would never choose to get such a creepy tattoo. In the shower room, Zell was drying her long hair. Though it was normally so beautiful and elegant, it was now drenched and looked sad. She gathered in front of her and covered it with a towel. On the exposed nape of her neck was a small butterfly-themed tattoo. However, it wasn't the sort of cute image of a butterfly brings to mind. It was an eerie mark with human eyes drawn on the butterfly wings that made the viewer instinctive fear of bugs send chill down their spine. Oh, I thought it was just going to be like a normal fucking butterfly, you know, like... Okay. Of course, it was a place where Zell couldn't see. But they're always watching that fucking meme. However, even without seeing it, she could tell its shape just by tracing her finger across it. She couldn't forget the pain of the needle even if she wanted to. I still respect the dedication she has. It really speaks to her. That tutu was something a certain organization's boss used as his personal crest. He had built a harem out of beautiful women he had obtained as spoils of war. and satisfied his petty desire to monopolize by giving them his tattoo. Originally, those butterflies were to be engraved all over Zell's back. What the fuck? However, a feud had broken out after only the first butterfly had been added. That boss was riddled with more bullets than the number of butterflies he had ever tattooed on his women, and left hanging on a crane. Yeah, get fucked, bitch. Hell yeah. Because her master had died and her owner had changed, she was able to escape with only a single tattoo. But I mean, it still marked her. Even now, when she thought about it, the pain of that repeated stabbing needle came back to her. It stung and ached. It wasn't just the pain of the needle. It went a message. The kind consideration shown by all the wandering dogs tormented her like a needle. Sorry, everyone. Not really one of your comrades. I'm sorry. You're fine. Sweetie, stop! She can always be my comrade. I don't care. She can stab me in the neck. I'll take a big serving, miss. So delicious. I could eat this all day. Yep, yeah, I can't be Japanese without this taste. Real soy sauce really does taste and smell completely different, doesn't it? All our customers are overjoyed. If it were just a bit cheaper, there'd be nothing to complain about. Yeah, with everyone poorer now after the war, it's pretty tough to have the prices be double what it was. My apologies on that matter. However, we've been promised that the price will be revised bit by bit going forward. I hear the news of the soy sauce fever has reached the ears of the workers in Chiba. Sounds like they're all rejoicing. I've heard that some people are starting to come out in favor of moving from a small-scale luxury output into mass production, with lower profit, far more sales. That's incredible, Rose. We might really be able to get our soy sauce back. Never know when we'll run out of soy sauce again. Better eat while we still can. If you're Japanese, you just gotta have soy sauce. The taste, the smell, can't up my horsepower without this stuff. Hey, why don't you eat up quick and open the sea? You realize how long I've been waiting here? Hey, don't push. You'll be sorry if you make me spill my soup. There's plenty of soy sauce left. Please don't fight and enjoy a friendly meal. Sorry, everyone, but soy sauce stocks around here are going to get bigger and bigger going forward. The more soy sauce you all buy, the more will get distributed. I ask that you all help support soy sauce. We're counting on you. Hey, is that Madame Rose? It's Madame Rose, ah! Since she had a few guards with her and it was dinner time, no one had realized she was there. However, once the first person spotted her, it was a whole different story. Men across the restaurant excitedly rose to their feet. She's so hot! It was like a popular rock star had been sitting among them. Madame Rose, our goddess, Banzai! The savior who raised our wages. Thanks for getting our soy sauce back. Please do miso and mirin next. Rice and mochis. I want to eat udon and soba too. The price is too high. If you don't get it a bit cheaper, I won't be able to eat it every day. I'm really sorry about the price, but I'll do all I can to make it cheaper. The more you all use soy sauce, like you're doing now, the cheaper you'll be able to get it. Let's all protect our food culture together. When Rose finished boldly saying her piece, the restaurant was filled with applause and whistles. When the excited customers rushed forward towards Rose, trying to shake her hand, they got into a pushing match with their guards. Madam, your car has arrived. It's time for Rose to go to work. Everyone, please give her room to move.